Pick up that girl.
Good night, good night, good night, Central Kingstown. Good night, Kingstown Park. Apostles listening to us. Las Vegas also. Those following on the live feed, good night and welcome once more to another meeting of this season of Reason, Central Kingstown, where we have a conversation with you, the people of Central Kingstown and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As usual, when Central Kingstown have a meeting, we have a little blessing from the Lord. He always here with us. And you can guarantee that. But we'll continue to be okay. And we'll start by asking Brother Igel Adams to open with a word of prayer.
Thank you very much, Brother Paul. Let me invite us to bow our heads where we are. Close our eyes as we pray. Our most loving and gracious Father, we truly want to give you praise and thanks for the blessings of life. And we thank you for the way that you have kept us during the day. And you have brought us here safely to this spot in Kingstown Park, where once again we can reason with the people of this part of the constituency. We thank you for your blessings, we thank you for your mercy, and we thank you for your grace. We thank you even for the showers of blessing that you have sent down upon us, showing that Central Kingstown is indeed a blessed constituency. We thank you for bringing all of us here safely. We pray even now that you will take full control and help that whatever is said and done here will be a means of enlightening the people so that when the time comes, they will make the right choice. Be with those who are on the way, bring them here safely. And once again, we commit this meeting in your hands. Continue to bless and keep us, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. At this time, you know, anytime you have cricket, you have to have the opening batsman. And before the opening batsman, you know, they just do some things. They just sing the anthem for both teams who are playing. So tonight, it's St. Vincent. So we are playing the national anthem. So at this time, let me invite you to stand and you can bear attention as we sing the national anthem. Together, that was our national anthem. And after that, now you know it's time for action. So usually, as I said, when we're in cricket, and the team who's supposed to bat, they're up to bat, you have to have an opening batsman. And when your opening batsman comes, you expect that he will be able to, you know, play the fast bowls and everything that come at him. So at this time, our opening batsman is no other person than the Lion, the chairman of the Old Montrose Party Group. He has been standing strong, he continues to stand strong. So put your hands together and welcome to the microphone, Brother Enroy King, better known as P.
Oh, not like peace, O God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the wilderness heavens open. I'm see man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all.
Tonight, Central Kingstown, tonight, my representative, Major Sinclair Rika, our President, Dr. Friday, Father Cummins, our Chairman, and our the General Secretary, Mr. Brother Smith, our PRO, my same namesake, Robert King. Good night, everyone. Good night. Well, you know, as I said, this is the reason for the season. I'm here. Now I'm saying, what more can Major do for Central Kingstown? What more NDP could do for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Because there's a talk of what NDP going to do. But I'm inviting everyone to come here and quite listen. Listen and make sure that you will hear some of the reasons and some of the things that NDP is going to do for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, you know, when you as living in Central Kingstown, you are in safe hands. Because as I say, there is nothing else that Major could do. Major informing us about all the crookery, all the scandals that this wicked administration is doing for us. Could you imagine that you get a man to run your business and he ain't telling you nothing about your accounts? He just doing what he feel like to do. And that's the same thing to this wicked administration. Going in without inviting the parliament, in particular the opposition, notify what you're going to do with this money. All you're just hearing, just doing and that. And it's not until it reaches to a climax and Major takes his time and explain to we, the people of Central Kingstown, about these worthlessness that this administration is going through. Now, if you say you love people, I think that you should actually go out to the extreme, because when the father have his children, he makes sure that food items on the table for his children. Big building is development. When the people develop, the country develop, the community develop, that's where development starts. Now, because you when you have a big building, you put yourself in debt. You yourself even know, the people even know how they're going to pay and clear these debts. We're dying for hungry. Now, what is it? Now, this administration is claiming that agriculture is the thing of the past. But every time NDP come up with a proposal with agriculture, they run and scramble it. It should not be NDP apart and keep leading the way. Should show you play loud, plain and clear that they run out of ideas. Because if you only have to depend on your opponent to bring everything to front. Now they have the farmers support fund. And there is people who even have a side, a blade side plan, and then end up getting support. And people like me, Zainai, because of the sanctuary that we sing out there. When you go, they say, your name is not in the system. Could you imagine that? Wicked. Imagine my ID expired over 3 years ago. My farmer's ID. And up to now I haven't received it. Sometime in the last month I go and I find out. Imagine I live in Kingstown, I farm in Kingstown, and they send my ID. Don't back me. Whoa. Could you imagine that? And that's just only to show you the push around and the drive around that they intend to do. Now, Major has speak several times about the food processing plant in Green Hill. And it will take about $50 million to bring it to country.
I know, I want to say if, I know when the NDP win this election, that is one of the things that we're looking forward to see. Because agriculture is the backbone, or one of the backbone of the pillar of development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Not only in Central Kingston, right through, agriculture is there. I remember as a child, growing up, my father feed me from agriculture because he had not used to work with Banana Association and as a grader. When you ended up seeing farmers having 2 and 3 vehicles, now today, instead of having 2 and 3 vehicles, all they have now is a piece of stick in their hand because they carry them now to security. Because Labour Party administration, wealthy administration, do not want to see the middle class develop. So what you do, they kill agriculture. And by killing agriculture, they kill the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So now, for the people to survive, they ended up now, they could put some of them on poor relief. They make some of them be, as we say, watchman. And then, so now, the development can no longer go on. People used to send the children to university from agriculture. Now he's looking up on it now with the healthcare. It is rather much shameful. Sometimes I go by the hospital for a checkup. And I watch, when I watch, I say, wait, what I'm seeing here, God. Basin day, pour day, bucket day, catching water. I said, this, what's your shame? Visitors coming in this country and seeing all of these things. Now, if you ended up, you have a hospital. The healthcare should be looking presentable, encouraging along these lines. You can end up having these things and looking so distracting to people. Because when a man is healthy, he is wealthy. And if you can't be healthy, you will never be able to be wealthy. Poor people have to run out of St. Vincent to looking for health care. Because a lack of health care in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You're only speaking, but we know that the NDP wouldn't be a party, it's not a talk show. It will be a party of action. And if they can't do that, they will not be looking for me. My people, I'm asking you to follow Central Kingstown. Come out to Central Kingstown. We the people of Central Kingstown prepare to make the sacrifice and go and speak to our cousins, speak to our people. And these are the districts who come out and give the support, not for NDP, the support for the country to see this country move forward. And NDP is the vehicle that will be able to carry this country forward. Thank you, my people. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother P. Central Kingstown. And you heard Brother P. And as he said, you know, we have to eat well, we have to go back to agriculture. And we have to, I have a simple remedy that I'm going to keep repeating for the entire year. To solve all the problems in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, change the government. Simple. All right, I want to recognize our leader, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday, who is here with us. Chairman Brother Cummins. Also want to recognize our General Secretary, Mr. Smith, is also here. Senator John, traveled from afar, is always here. VP, Brother Nature Stevens, he's also here with us. And of course, the host of tonight's meeting, Major, the Honorable St. Clair Leacock, host of tonight's meeting. I want you, and as Brother Cummins said, his representative is here. So we're going to have a very fruitful meeting tonight. Obviously, we have the Central Kingstown crew Brother Regis, we just heard from Mr. P, and we'll have others as we go on tonight. Well, one good thing about tonight's meeting is that we're standing on concrete. We don't have a stage tonight. We do not have a stage tonight, and that is by design. Because our next speaker stands on solid grounds when it comes to delivery and when it comes to Central Kingstown. He needs no introduction, but obviously I still have to introduce him. Put your hands together and welcome the dynamic, powerful Igel Adams. Put your hands together for Brother Igel.
After 90 years in power, look at the condition of sentence and the economy. It's time for me to get rid of this ULP. Vote election time and vote for the NDP. Look at the state of SPG. Under the ULP. Oh gosh, I'm so much
Yes, don't blame me for the rain. I have a constituent in the constituency, we call him the waterman. And well, if you know he's the waterman, then you're going to expect that you're getting a lot of water when you're in Central Kingstown. So don't blame me for the rain. You can blame him for the rain because he is the waterman. Our president, our distinguished president, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday, Vice President Nigel Nature Stevenson, Vice President and Representative of Central Kingstown, the Honorable Major Sinclair Leacock, Honorable Fitzbramble, MP for East Kingstown, Honorable Chevron John, Senator and next representative for North Windward, our General Secretary, Brother Brenton Smith, and our Public Relations Officer, Sister Laverne King. And to all the people in Central Kingstown and those who are hearing us back there in Lodge Village and other places, and those on the radio and on social media, I must say a pleasant good night. This is the year 2025. And it is the year that God has designed for St. Vincent to be revived. And in 2025, SPG will breathe new life. You see, as I travel around this constituency, I'm going to touch some constituency business and then I'm going to give a shot or two on some other things. But when I travel this constituency, I am wondering if really and truly St. Vincent has a government. When I check the roads, when I go to the plan, that is Sharp's plan, and you take the road coming up from the rock straight up to the plan, the kind of holes and gullies that you will meet, you're wondering if we were living in the dark ages. You take the road, you go up plan, you turn on your right hand by Grace Strand, the road up back to almost door. You turn on the left, you're going by Sharon, same thing. You go up a little higher, you're wondering what actually is happening. You turn in by Ken Peters and the Sardines, same thing. Road terrible, roads bad. You come down a little low in Sharps, you come across by Colors Gap. Well, I'm planning to put on my short pants, my soccer pants, and a towel when good rain come to go by that pool, because that is a swimming pool in the road. And I'm going to take a bath and take a picture right there if they didn't fix it before the rains come proper. Because you can't believe that people have a road looking like that. You go over to Green Hill, you travel up, you're going from Knights area to the ball ground. Well, you want to know if you have to return to Donkey Cat to pass those type of roads. You go in the new plans, the old plan for Green Hill. You go across on the opposite side of Thomas Apartment, near to Mr. Williams, Aaron Williams, roads bad. You swing from there, you go out the other side by New Roy, same thing. You come down by Cummins' brother, that is Daniel Cummins' brother, and you can't believe the atrociousness of those roads. You got to ask yourself the question, is there a government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? You may answer yes, there is a government, but for certain, there's not a government that is concerned about the citizens of the country. Not at all. Because if you travel those roads, things bad. You leave there, you go over to Dayside Cottage. The Prime Minister's residence is in Dayside Cottage. And right up to his gate, the road is good, very good. But when you leave there to go to Lago Heights, you can't believe you're living in a modern world. I mean, it's just sick and things are really bad. So people, you know, there's a good ULP supporter for them. But I don't think they're voting for them this time, from what I hear them say. They usually give me a right sometimes. Because to be honest and true, with me, I talk to everybody. Amen. I don't really pick and choose people. I'm a Christian, I talk to everybody. Amen. So they'll give me right now and then, and to go home. And when they drive on the roads in Sharks, they say, watch. If it's one reason I want this government to lose, it's because of the roads. Well, I say if they could say so, what the others of us supposed to say? And they're strong ULP supporters, but they can't take it. They say the roads are too bad. It's mashing up their vehicle. People, we have to make a change if we want to see better in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, watch me. When I tell you this administration wicked, they're easy wicked. But I was so pumped yesterday to go on the radio station because I was going to let go some licks and the appeal court. That's what St. Vincent might have wanted to know what happened. I was pumped and I was ready to blast. And then I heard they're going to hand down the judgment on Wednesday. So all the pump went out because they get a bit. Because I can't believe after almost 4 years, a vaccine mandate to put a number of Vincentians out of work. Some of them die, some of them lose their property, some of them still suffering because they can't pay the bills. And up to today, since last year, May, they heard the appeal and they couldn't come with a verdict. Boy, I was so revved up yesterday to put some licks and then me know what going to them and they come for me. But they know me ain't it. But it happened so that Wednesday they will hand down the judgment. Now, based on what happened in the other cases, I'm expecting a judgment in favor of the workers who are dismissed. But I in the courts, and they might do what they want to do. But to add insult to injury, the powers that be already said, if they lose the appeal, they're gonna go straight to the Privy Council. Imagine, you fire the people, you took their money when you lose the case, and you appeal it. Now if you lose it again, you're gonna take the same people money to carry the case to the Privy Council. And it's expensive to go there. But that is to show the wickedness of this administration. So when they bring somebody in central Kingstown to say that they're going to contest against the major, you must ask the person, how is it you could run for the Unity Labour Party when they were so wicked and cruel to fire so much people from the job and you didn't see anything? And you come in for me to support you, run them. And when you mark the X, make sure they run not only this time, but they run for all the time. Get rid of them, you can't support the Unity Labour Party. Now, Major, been making a case for Central Kingstown for years about a polyclinic in Central Kingstown. Well, he was saying sharps all the time. Because sharps really the biggest part of the constituency. And they had all kind of song and dance. They didn't want to give him, they don't want to put one in. Because they're wicked. They can't win Central, so they won't do anything. But because the major don't relent, and he keep every day speaking about it. You know when you bother people too much, they get fed up, and they say, well, we go do something. So they decide that they're gonna buy a piece of land over the other side here, and they're gonna build a clinic. Now they say the clinic supposed to finish in June. Now today is the 8th of February. They ain't start to do any work over there yet. So I don't know which clinic they're gonna finish in June. Certainly they can't finish a polyclinic in June that they ain't start. Now it's February. So even if they come, and they put down something in Lodge Village, you can't bother with them. Because that will not be the thing that we need in Central Kingstown. We need a proper polyclinic in Central Kingstown to take care of the needs of the people in Central Kingstown. And we ain't selfish. Because a polyclinic is a kind of semi-hospital. So if somebody gets sick in East Kingstown, or West Kingstown, or even South Leon, because the hospital will be in Annisfield, and they need some attention before they can get to the hospital. Because we are generous in Central Kingstown, the doors will be open, and the people can come, and they can be attended to. So if they come and bring any wishy-washy thing over there, when the NDP get into office, make the clinic what it's supposed to be, and we will have a proper polyclinic in Central Kingstown. We can guarantee you that under a New Democratic Party administration. But let me tell you something. I want people to know and understand that this year is election. So you need to make sure you have your ID. You need to make sure that the name is on the list. So in every constituency, go and check the list. Check any of the NDP personnel in the constituency. Make sure you check the list. Make sure your name is on the list. Your mother's name is there. Your father's name, your brother, your sister, your neighbor, everybody. Because I'm telling you something. You see in this election, we come in, we swarm in every polling station like African killer bees. And we get into the station and we put in our X next to the key. And when they put the X next to the key, that is the venom that they will be putting in the heart of the ULP. So we will get rid of them from the back governance of the city. So people, remember that. And we take it over, don't get them to spare. Swarm like the bee and sting like the bee. Get rid of the Unity Labour Party. Good night and God bless you.
We have to be on concrete. And we in Central Kingstown. If you want to Central Kingstown, my girl, it's hard to back up to you, know. It's hard to back up. So we might have to do something for the other. Put your hands together again for Brother Igan. Speaking from the heart with emotion. Very important, speaking from the heart with emotion. And all of these speakers from Central Kingstown in June with what taking place in Central Kingstown. They're not firm for the constituency. They are tuning And that's why these meetings are called Season of Reason. So we reason with the people in Central Kingston, those of you in Lago Heights, Lodge Village, listening to us, those of you right here, keep tuning. Because next to address you again from Central Kingstown, Brother Major, Manager, the one and only Kenny Regis. Put your hands together again. And let's welcome Kenny Regis to address you. Kenny, come, brother.
Give me that same old peace, love, and the harmony. We want no more of the peace, love, and the harmony. Give me that peace, love, and the harmony. We want the same old peace, love.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say, first of all, good night to Vice President Nature. Good night to Senator Chevron John. Good night to Chairman Daniel Cummins. Good night to the GenSec, the PRO, and all other executive members. Good night to our very own in Central Kingstown, the Major. Good night to the Prime Minister in waiting, Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday. It might be some weeks, months, you can run but you can't hide. He will be the next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Central Kingston, good night. Kingston Park, good night. Now, this is my neighboring community, Kingston Park. I live not too far from here, really. Travel through from Sharp, go down to Kingston Methodist School, shot this road. Them times we really have a van and stuff like that. Sometimes we walk up and try to go back down this road. No stranger to this area. But I used to be a minibus operator in Redemption Shops, Kingstown, Lodge Village, coming right around Route here. This city here tonight, as what my representative told it as, season for reason. I want to have a little bit of reasoning tonight. Let me just back up from 2001. 2001, I was running minibus through Kingston Park and I was forced to park up my van. Not in any harm or anything, but people all in this blockade, when they tried to run my van in 2001, necessarily, we want this government here to change. Not this government, the MP government. And for safety, go home and park up your van. Couple times I tried to force it, move jumps, move stone, backward and forward. And actually, when this thing gets very heated, I actually had to go home. Now, this present government here is the government which hold this country hostage, forced them into the election, and changed the government, and their main talk was they want to be tough on crime and the causes of crime. When I reflect tonight, and get very black in Kingstown Park, you saying tough on crime? If 10 permit me tonight, let me come too much men from Kingstown Park and the street there, get gunned down, shoot down, in all different kind of gun and related activities in Kingstown Park. You know, the whole of Kingstown Park, it changed completely. But this government they say the new Democratic Party, what was a Sir James Mitchell, they was in office too long. That was 17 years. So you fired for 25 years and one over 30 years, well, that is less than 17 years. My people, tonight, this meeting is season for a reason, as my MP said. You know the argument across St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Some people saying they're voting. The reason, all of them the same thing. Let me just back up. Let me contrast. Let me make it a reasoning conversation. Now, this administration here, you raise that, you raise the amount of people on the list for poor relief, you raise, what should say? We can just count them because it's so much a thing going higher and higher and higher. As what they say in one of them campaign is that they live in SPG higher and everything is up and up and up. My people tonight, we can't compare the New Democratic Party and the ULP government at this day. Dr. Friday, the leader of the New Democratic Party, that is the man who will be the next Prime Minister in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He, 2 years back, I think it was 2023, he made a pledge out at Villa. And he proposed for the young people what he is about for the young people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On the other hand, the young people at the other hand for the ruling party is that it's just a handout, and more handout. Tonight it gets so far. We say, and we hearing, and we listening, and the ruling government saying it's 5 in a row. Let me ask the question, what Kingstown Park have to show?
Nothing at all.
They are asking to give them 6 in a row. What Central Kingstown have to show? Nothing at all to show. Look at this road in Kingstown Park here. You know, from Nichols, which is the for sale coming down here, coming right down through Kingstown Park. If you was grading the second foot of the hill, it's just a matter of time for a vehicle to come and stop in that grill of a Kingstown Park. You know, it's sorry for the bad man of them who travel through here. And I call them Them in these passes set up stone roller coming to Kingstown Park. You know the stone rollers them have like one speed coming through on these rough road, but the bad man of them is like the fastest set of stone roller. Because they going through, they traveling through, up and down every day, but look at the condition of the road in Kingstown Park. Right through the whole entire country. Now my people, Dr. Friday, what is the Prime Minister waiting? Let me ask ourselves, you hearing all the things in Parliament, the plans, the programs, and everything he laid out. If you listen to the New Democratic Party, no doubt about that, the only choice after the next general election is to put the New Democratic Party in office to work. You know the slogan? Let's get it done. You know, I speak to some lady in Green Hill recently. And the funny thing is that she asked the last opponent for Major, the last time around, when you and your government going to fix this piece of road in Green Hill, the funny thing is that he answered and said, Major is all the representative, let me go fix it. How are we supposed to run a government like that? That Major champion the constituency development fund and for hell, no, on the other side, that will never pass in Parliament. And these guys coming around every 5 years and asking you to support them, to keep them in office, to make our Vincentian, our Central Kingstown people, our Kingstown people poorer and poorer and in the same stage year after year and year after year. Major is no stranger to this area. We have a program from couple years, me, Major and P were on every Friday evening. And all these guys on this block in Kingstown Park could never ever say Major is a stranger to this community. Let me tell you something. I went to a meeting last night at Orange Hill. Sister Chevron, our candidate for North Windward. Very nice meeting. I went to a shop and two young guys, they be honest to themselves, two young guys, one talk to me and tell me, well, you don't really know me, but you know, like I come from Kingstown. You know, the only thing in the party in government I would do is see them and them never have a meeting in Orange Hill. This is a different tonight, which is last night. This is how you call representative politics. And Chevron, Major is big here. And after my representative, I have to big you up too. Very good meeting last night. My people, in the interest of time, because we have a lot of speakers, we have our office at Sharps. We up and running. My wife there, she will be in it, coordinating all the young people in Central Kingstown. And Central Kingstown is not Sharps alone. We is Central Kingstown, Parsley, Kingstown Park, Green Hill, Larmite, Daisy Cottage, Green Hill. We asking you to come out. All months. We asking you to come out on the 12th of this month The 15th, sorry. Thank you guys for the correction. And we will meet with our representative. It will be a mix and mingle. It will be free food, free beverage, and you can meet with maybe not a stranger to the office, but you could share ideas, you could meet with them. If you want to see them one-on-one, regardless of what, have a conversation with them, we ask you to come up. We also encourage everybody, every Monday since the year began, we having a meeting every Monday. This Monday coming, we asking agents for Central Kingstown, all agents for Central Kingstown to attend that meeting for training. You ain't gonna vex with me, you ain't gonna vex with me. No training, no agent. No training, no agent. Before I leave, and I hand in mine, but I got Margaret London, Colin Graham. You know, I see something surface on Facebook last year. And it was a very nice clip. But I want you to look for it from Monday, I got Colin. Look for that. Because it's a very important clip. Wherein it's a clip with an MP in Trinidad, a government MP, and a lady stood up to him. He come after they elected him. It seems he come for the next election, and it seems like he never ever put back his foot in the area. And he stood up. What you doing here? Who is you? Where you come from? But I hold you to Rashtam. Play that because our Vincentian people need to hear that and stand up. Stand up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines right across the board, because they didn't have no MP on the government side. We actually walk and serve the constituency as a representative. Before I leave, Paul, like you running me. We looking to give our representative, you know, because I have performance. And not to say no other representative from our side don't perform. But we in Central Kingstown, we proper represented by our major, the Honorable Senator in Parliament, on the radio, and he stand up for each and every person in Central Kingstown when it comes to representative. So we in Central Kingstown, we're going to give him a mandate in this next general election. No less than 1,000 votes. Thank you. Good night. God bless you.
Yes. Thank you. As a van was passing, they say, Uncle Regis. Thank you very much, Kenny. On point and powerful, and the message clear. Say 1,000 votes because the majors represent the 15 constituencies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You must ensure that those persons, they cannot come and face the people because they have no money. They only have money for themselves. They don't care about you. And that is why they're against Constituency Development Fund. And that is why you see in Trinidad, when the guy comes, the lady running, you know, she says, who is you? It's the same thing When they come now with the money and so forth, ask them who you be. Ask them the name. And they want to see the ID because you don't know them. But you know the major and you know all. And the New Democratic Party candidates. 15 in place and the government still stunting. Last night, as Brother Richard said, a lovely meeting out in North Windward. And that candidate for the New Democratic Party, Senator John, we're running against you, Senator. She don't know. Nobody. I'm going to invite Senator John, I know she spoke last night, just to bring you greetings and introduce our next speaker. Powerful ladies in the New Democratic Party. Senator John.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good night to everyone. Kingstown Park. Good night. It is good to be here. President of the New Democratic Party, Vice President, Chairperson, Chairman, PRO, Gensec. Everyone, good night. MP Fix, good night. And it is really good to be here to support our elder statesman, as he called himself. And I'm very happy to be here to support him. I know all along he has been one that I admire in terms of his politics. And he has been mentoring along the way the youths in the New Democratic Party. He has not left them alone. And I came into it and he has always been there, along with other members of the New Democratic Party, to which I say tonight, thank you. We know that the New Democratic Party works for the people. We are not in government, but whatever we do in Parliament, on the street, in our communities, it is for the people, for you to be happy. And we know that when we get into government, things will be better, because we are going to get the policies in place and the plans that we have already, we are going to put it into action, because the people deserve better. Kingstown Park, you will get the true, deep representation from the major when we get into government. I know he has been walking from one top of his constituency to the next. He never stopped walking. So you know him, you meet him, and I urge you to once again give him your support, because this time we will be in government. Tonight I'm passing the opportunity to introduce the next speaker, a young lady who is hardworking, who is dedicated to the task of politics, and who wants to ensure that the New Democratic Party gets into government. A young lady who is very articulate and who is ready to serve the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and has been serving the New Democratic Party in her capacity as PRO. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the very energetic, vibrant PRO of the New Democratic Party, Miss Laverne King.
So you beat them, so you mistreated, so you lock them down, and you think that you won, but them all on meditation. In your vibration, just find the fire and the nail and they go right. So tell me what you are gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. Tell me what you gonna do now. That the youth, I won't let you like you to say. Thank you, Fusion. Kingstown Park. Brother John said, vibrant and energetic. I think you're setting me up because after I don't jump up like that. I'm so happy and thrilled to be here with you this evening in Kingstown Park. And I tell you why. On the Maidan, Kingstown Park is like home to me because when I was going to secondary school, I used to live just about 2 houses down from here. And so I know quite a few of the people on this street. But I wish to start first by thanking and bringing up the Honorable Major St. Clair Lika, continuing to be an excellent representative for the people of Central Kingstown. Yes. Tonight I'm going to be very brief with you and I'm going to talk the truth as plain as I could do it and as down to earth as I can do it. Now we have times when we come on the platform and we talk in diplomatic ways with a whole set of big ones. So forgive me tonight when I come very small. I'm going to talk to you about something called following the money and construction corruption. And I'm going to tell you something. This year in the budget, basically we're able to approve the money to spend. They went in Parliament and they approved the biggest one ever, $1.8 billion. Now I never see $1 million in my life. I never even see 500,000 in front of me before. And when I hear 1.8 billion, you know it's plenty money. And I'm going to call somebody from Central Kingstown. Stop you coming. Let me show you something. If the government approved $1.8 billion, how much of it you think as somebody from Central Kingstown you might get?
Well, now on business. If they didn't spend that all the years, you will spend it now?
How much you think you might get?
Nothing.
How much you think going to spend to fix the road here where we come up?
I just said if we didn't spend all the years, you will spend it now? It's major fixing it.
And we know if we say major fixing it, it means that we have to ensure that major returns because this time he'll be coming in with the government, with the new Democratic Party in office. The simple fact is that don't matter how many times they go back to Parliament and don't matter how big the budget is, this road here in Kingston Park will never be fixed. And I know that because since I was living right there, and mind you, I finished secondary school, I go to college, I might be showing up my age a little bit now. I went to university, I did a master's, I come back, and this road is the same. As a matter of fact, it's worse, you're right. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. One of the things that this government has been doing, because they stop here saying to you that none of that money coming back in your pocket, you have to ask yourself, whose pocket is that money going into? Because that money is not trickling down to you as the ordinary man or woman in Kingston Park. And so, the government does this thing where they go and they approve a whole set of projects all over the place. And listen to how the construction corruption comes in. They will first find a project because they love to build shiny new objects. Every day they hear them breaking ground, you swear the earthquake we have in St. Vincent. They will go on like in Kingstown, for example, right by Six Develop's office. They approve a road project for $2.5 million. And they run, and guess how much money now it is? They say they want more money on top of that. They only say it's $5 million. But friends, I tell you something. If you know that you're going to the supermarket and you say this thing will come up to $50, if it They must try to rob you. How Gaza could a project that was initially ventilated, initially set up, investigated, and said to be engineered at $2.5 million reach to $5 million? Where the rest money going? Where the rest money going? And it ain't coming to we in the constituencies. So how come you want so much more money and then do your homework first the right time? It's not that. It is because they are approving these projects to the higher ups and the cronies. And when they approve the project, they're going to double up the money so that some of the money could go back in their pockets. I am telling you the truth. And California is not the only one. You find the girls' high school. First they start off and they say, you know what, girls' high school can be $2 million. And they get what they could get from that. And they come back and they say that is not enough. We need $6 million to do it. And friends, to date, the children and them still they're getting bitten by fleas on the tarmac. And dogs, fleas, and dogs. All the while the ULP is continuing to increase the budget. And I tell you something, if they say more money and they keep throwing money and the building cannot finish, it means the money ain't throwing at the project. The money throwing in them their pockets. Construction, corruption. The other day, when COVID been coming, they say they're going and build a facility, they build it out, they buy it out in Argyle. 1 point something million dollars again. I think it was used maybe for one day. Now it's out there, it rotten trees and things growing up around it. Tell me they couldn't convert that into a community center to train the young people and them with new skills so that they're not idle. But I tell you why they buy that. They buy it so that they can then get a little kickback because it is how the ULP is taking money, boxing bread out of the mouths of the people of this country and putting it back into their pockets. So no matter how big your budget is, there's nothing in it for you. It is always going to go back in their pockets. And I tell you the next way how they just steal from we. You see this little temporary building everywhere you go around, it these days is temporary. You know why? When they have these temporary projects, it allows them to rent buildings and spots all over Kingstown from their friends and them. You can go down in town and see it, and you have government offices locked up, that abandoned and rotten that they could be using, and they take that money instead to buy medication for the hospital, but they don't care, so they're not doing that. Instead, what they are doing is they're renting from the little friends and them, so that they can go and get their kickbacks, and they're talking about these temporary this and temporary that. All the while they could take the money and develop the place, but they're refusing to do it. And friends, that is the action of a wicked and uncaring ULP government. Every year they keep on talking about overrun and overrun and overrun. You know what the overrun is? Overrun is when you hire a man and you tell him, the contractor tell you, well, this house going to cost about 100,000 to build. The man come back to you and say, but no, this house can cost 500,000 instead. Now if you hire a man to do that, and he come back and he more than double, you ain't gonna say that man don't know what he doing and you must fire him? Fugitive? Well, we must get rid of them. We must get rid of them because that sort of behavior is not acceptable. It is untenable. And as such, ladies and gentlemen, we must get rid of the Unity Labour Party government. And I tell you the last one in which they're doing that. And I said, girl, I just do my research. It's on a clip there from the man we're afraid to run back against Chevron, named Montgomery. Play that clip there for me.
The project management unit within the Ministry of Transport and Works with the delays over time, would have written to the main contractor. As a matter of fact, they would have written twice, serving notices on the delays. However, Madam Speaker, with the prolonged delays over time, this matter was brought to the attention of the Honorable Prime Minister, where a meeting was held with the main contractor on the 6th of December 2021 to resolve these issues. At that meeting, an extension of time was given to the overall project, and work has commenced under the company Gipcon Engineering on the Otley Hall Road. The road is scheduled to be completed in December 2022.
You hear what they say? Future could put back the very last part of it. This is the road in Otley Hall, Edinburgh. Put it back just to the little ending. This is when he said they should have finished.
Under the company Gipcon Engineering on the Otley Hall Road. The road is scheduled to be completed in December 2022.
Oh God, December 2020. I'll even put them back there for tell we again that they're going to do it in 2025 so that when in 2030 they will come and tell you again. Hello? No. And what they have done, friends, is they have gone and they give back the contract to the next contractor, and the money that they did approve for it, they increase it again, because as usual, the ULP have to dip their hands and get money back in their pocket from every single project that has been approved. And friends, that is what I call blatantly thieving from the people of this country. Now I'm going to tell you real fast how we're going to help out the situation. When I came up here, I was talking to my friend named Harry. They're inside here. Harry, yes. Harry. He told me that he's a tattoo artist, right?
Harry tell you that?
And he said he could do many things. Yeah, he told me so.
Yeah, he bad, say bad.
And then he said, what do they do for the young people? And I tell him about some of our plans. Now I'm going to tell the young people of Kingstown Park how the NDP is going to look after you. Because I can only come up here and cuss you all. I have to tell you what we do too, not true. So, I have informed him that Dr. Friday has signed a pledge called the Youth Guarantee Pledge. And the Youth Guarantee Pledge is simply this. The New Democratic Party has made a commitment that if you're a young person, we are going to either ensure that you are employed, that you are being trained for employment, or that you are learning and getting a skill so that you can earn. What it means, friends, is that we will be reducing the number of idle hands that we see in the communities and on the blocks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is precisely what I said to Harry. I said, Harry, like how you is an ink boss, because we don't say tattoo boss anymore. These days, everybody modernizing the professions. Like how you is an ink boss. And he showed me all the nice tattoos on them that he does do. He said, real good enough. I believe him because, I watch him. He's very good at it. Now, how could he grow his little business? The NDP is proposing something we call the Innovation Hub. What is that? The Innovation Hub is basically where you have a business idea and you cannot get up and go to the bank, the commercial bank in Kingstown, and get a loan for 9% because they want all different type of surety. Instead, what the New Democratic Party is going to do, we are going to invest in what we call the Development Bank. What will the Development Bank do for you? The Development Bank paired with the Innovation Hub. I have an idea. I come to you, Moss. My idea is this tattoo shop. I operated it now out of my house, but I want to move it out of the house and I want to set up a formal business place. The people at the Innovation Hub is going to take your idea, they're going to look at your experience, and they're going to help you develop it by coming up with your business plan. Because I tell you this, there's some people who are very skilled, but business plan and those sort of things is not their area. You understand? So that should not be that so that they could get access to funding. And I'll tell you this, when you get your developmental plan, and I will tell you something, nobody else on the other side within my age group knows anything about developing a small business as much as I do. So the New Democratic Party attracts young, brilliant people. I see my friend Shaka, the new candidate in Western George, has just arrived. So as I was saying, so you go to the Innovation Hub and you get your proposal done for you. And once you get the proposal, you're going to go across now to the Development Bank. And the Development Bank is not like a commercial bank that is going to take 9% interest from you. You're going to be getting development loans basically for about 3% or so. Because the idea is not to profit off the backs of our people, but rather to enable you so that you can elevate yourself. And so when you go from the Innovation Hub over to the Development Bank, we're going to ensure that you get the funding you need so that people like Harry, people like Sean, people like Sensei, all the people of them in this area who have a business idea in their minds, they have the avenue and the opportunity by which their business could move out of their heads and into reality. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a plan that is focused on the development of the young people of Kingstown Park and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to tell you this before I leave. Major Leacock has been standing in the gap for you in this constituency for a while. And I'm encouraging you this time to ensure that you return him to office. And it is important to return Major to office because you have heard Dr. Friday say that Major is a shadow security, and if we want to deal with the crime problem, we need to ensure that Major is part of the cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Friday works very closely with Major Leacock. And I know that Dr. Friday has the interest of Central Kingstown at heart just as much as Major Leacock does. And so we can look forward, ladies and gentlemen, to a Prime Minister who is not only going to look after this seat, that seat, but rather the entire of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So this road here in Kingstown Park will become like a carpet, smooth for you to drive on. Kingston Park, Central Kingstown, this is our year to get it done. This is our year to ensure that we form government. So if you have the opportunity to get the young people in your area, in your neighborhoods and in your homes registered, please ensure that once they turn 18, if you don't know the process, contact one of us. We will help you. Basically, getting registered just means getting your ID card. The only thing you need for that is to get the original birth certificate. And friends, there's a lot of people who just say, I want things change, but they sit down and they don't go by the code. This is not the year to play house. This is not the year to take silly chances. We have seen that we have lost seats in this country by one vote. So do not ever take it for granted that he done say. Make sure that when polling day comes Central Kingstown, that you go out and you still show that Central Kingstown is still rolling with Major St. Clair Leacock. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
This is the year to do that. Yes, put your hands together again for our dynamic, young, energetic public relations officer. You know, I know for years, you know, because we go to the same church. I know since she's small growing up. And she has always been somebody who can really take on the issues and deal with them. That's how I know her all the time. And the only change she changes is that she's getting better at it all the time. We want to just say good night to Brother Cupid, our next representative for West St. George. So we just want to big him up. We just want to big him up as he made his way over here. Okay, so now, I mean, when you cannot support something like the Constituency Development Fund, then you really shouldn't be in government. So all these Unity Labour Party candidates who are going to come to you and tell you that they want to represent you in government, you should ask them why they have not supported the Constituency Development Fund so that they could have had monies to do work in their constituency. They wouldn't be able to answer you. So therefore, all you will have to do is tell them your time done. It's now time for the NDP. And we're going to vote solidly for the key and elect a new Democratic Party government. But at this time we have here Vice President Nigel Nature Stevenson, representative for South Leeward. So we're going to call on him now to bring greetings from the constituency of South Leeward. And then he will introduce the next speaker. Put your hands together and welcome Brother Nigel Nature Stevenson, Vice President of the New Democratic Party.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you very much, Brother Igor. I want to extend a very pleasant good night to everyone. It's raining in Kingstown Park, but I look at the rain as a blessing. And it indicates to me that there will be a thorough cleaning up of the Unity Labour Party in Kingstown Park and in Central Kingstown. It is 9 o'clock and I've been hearing it tonight, dynamic speakers, energetic speakers, but I'm not one of them. My duty tonight is to introduce someone that you know far better than I do in Central Kingstown. I know him partially because he's my colleague. But I've been told, before you introduce him, bring greetings from a particular constituency that resides between Camden Park and Vermont. And that is the constituency of South Leeward, the constituency that I have the privilege and the honor of representing. I've been doing so for as long as major candidate here has been representing your constituency. We started out together, and I'm absolutely sure that we will be walking into the government together after the next general election. I've heard so many things about roads, how bad the roads are in Central Kingstown. In South Leeward, it is no different. And I've been talking about these roads for the longest while until the ULP government, the ministers have been saying to me, well, you're the shadow minister for roads. But I'm saying to them, if you can't fix a simple issue of roads, then what are you going to fix? And it is no wonder St. Vincent and the Grenadines is falling apart. I remember making a statement in the Parliament during the budget presentation. And I said that the not the Unity Labour Party, I said the government side is positioning themselves to be the chief beneficiaries of the budget. And I heard Sister Lavon was alluding to that. They were upset But I do not make any apologies for it because year after year they're presenting billion-dollar projects, billion-dollar budgets, and the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, their lives are taking a turn for the world. So where's all the money? Where all the money gone? So Central Kingstown, you have a representative that has been championing something that we call the Constituency Development Fund. So you don't have to rely on the minister that you just heard 4G play a while ago, who is always lying, always twisting, creating the impression that they're going to do something. But with that Constituency Development Fund, it will be managed in such a way that once there is a small project in your constituency, once there's an issue that affects you, we can use that Constituency Development Fund to bring relief to you, the constituents of Central Kingstown. So my friends, I have no greater privilege than to introduce to you the person who has been championing that fund and also the person who has a passion for the people of Central Kingstown. I speak of no other than my brother and friend, Vice President Major Sinclair.
Central Kingstown. I want us to sing when the song sounds something like the rain is falling very much. I listen to those things that you walk the man say leave the rain alone, leave the rain alone. Present good night to all here in Kingston Park, all in Central Kingston, all within my earshot. Dr. Friday, my distinguished president, to whom I am committed, thank you very much. Later, I think the first time introducing me to speak. Except when we saw you and your village meetings, huh? So thank you, Nature. We go back a long time, we work very well together. Daniel, chairman, fifth in the shop. He's not a drinker, but he's there, close to the bar. Senator John, I'm glad to have you here. And you know how I feel about you and the constituency, and we're looking forward to great things. You know, as I'm talking to you, there's a kind of traffic jam and a vehicle ran off the road into the slippery drain. But it's probably getting through. But actually, there's something I wanted to speak about. Anyhow, let me get back on script. This is an important meeting for me, and I acknowledge all my colleagues who are present here in support of me, especially Senator John coming all the way from Oya. That has to be commitment, and I really appreciate that.
Especially after last night.
Before the meeting started tonight, I walked my colleague Daniel, who is an engineer, just across the street behind the back. If the rain was coming, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But right in the street here, you know, there's an old standpipe almost directly opposite to me. It has been there condemned for perhaps the last 20 years or so. It's no longer functional. But the old standpipe there takes up about 3 feet of road. If you move the old standpipe put a box drain and cover the drains, this whole corner will be widened and they lead it all the way down the box drain until they get into a slipway drain. And this weekly and daily traffic jam that happens right in this corner with people having to give way will disappear. But when you don't have people with vision and understanding and practical application of voice problem solving, that's what the hamlet be. And that's what is the unity live apart. Now, patient with me. I am the current representative of Central Kingstown. I am the fourth person with the privilege to hold that office. And sadly, I'm the only living member that ever represented Central Kingstown. And so tonight, without the usual minute silence, I have to acknowledge the passing from years ago Campbell, who was the first, who came in 89, followed by Boye, who passed recently, good and decent Vincentian son of the soil, one for whom I have tremendous respect or had, and who did so much for my life. I was so happy that I never had to run against him or he against me. And then there was Conrad Says, and he has also gone to the great beyond. But I am now the longest serving member for Central Kingstown. God be the glory. But you know, in all of that dynamics, it's a scandal who served here as a minister of government. I know that, thank you. But he never made it to government. And while in the song a little distasteful, the man who spoke longest at his funeral, also the man who said he didn't know where his mother's grave was. That's the hypocrite. That is right. Says, who had 2 terms in Central Kingstown, never one day acted as a minister of government. And you could compare that to Julian Francis, who never won a seat, the biggest office, and even in his retirement, is still living in a contract and salary for minister of government almost. That's the extent of the hypocrisy and dishonesty. I'm saying all those things in passing to paint a picture of the choice to have between the New Democratic Party and the other. Now, last night when I was in that beautiful meeting, actually Kenny is back and and I was telling him we have a nice big downstairs for those of you who want to go to a dry, comfortable place. If you want to play pool, you have pool table downstairs as well. But he's back and down there with pillow. We have free food here tonight. So you ain't going home hungry. So that's what he just brought in. They're going to organize the food. Yeah? I was saying that last night in Orange Hill, something very interesting happened. Because while for the greater part, Sister Siobhan was being welcomed and welcomed heartily to that community, we had a few people who were grumbling. A few people who were grumbling. It's not serious matter what they talk about here, you know. A few people were grumbling. Now, when I spoke to the budget, you all listen to me tonight, carefully. I said in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we had too much poverty.
Yes.
And I said the poverty of this country is something that Ralph and Company has used to their advantage to keep them in government.
That's right.
By keeping our people poor. In fact, something the poor they are, and the more they defend him. But I hope most remember, there's a program a year or two ago on the radio station, and they were interviewing a young lady, and she said, I asked the Prime Minister to give me a shack. Remember that? What? Give me a shack. And the person who was interviewing said, why didn't ask for a house? And she said, I don't think I'm worthy of a house. A shack is good enough for me. Digest that. A young lady feels she is not entitled to live in a house. Just give her a shack. Just give her a shack. You heard our dynamic PRO spoke about the misspending, the bad spending, the wastage in government, the corruption in government. I just spoke and alluded to that. He spoke about the fact that the Unity Party and the men in it have no principle. Both spoke to that as MC as well, by saying that imagine, you know, just think of what Major saying. We, in the new Democratic Party, we are saying that every representative should have a portion of money allocated to his or her constituency that they can decide what to do for themselves to help the people who put them in office. Anything wrong with that? That's how it should be. Because you came around, beg, ask, beseech, and promise. And we said that will be a cornerstone of how the New Democratic Party functions. It's in a sense a kind of form of local government. We took that to the parliament by with questions. We took it to the budget debate. And every single member of the Unity Labour Party, Cortez Kenny included, Jimmy Prince, that they don't want any money to spend for themselves, for their constituents. They voted against it. They prefer to go and beg and beg and beg the Prime Minister and beseech him to do something for their people. So think about how Major's going again. You have the lady who feel they don't have the strength and the character to stand up and be respected, but then she could have a house. That's right. And at the high end, you have these so-called qualified, intelligent, educated members who can't even take a stand on principle to look after their constituents. So that's the extreme. What you heard last night in North Winwood was that people who are essentially living, many of them, on what we call poor relief, public assistance, probably getting $275 per month. They are saying, God bless Juan Gonzalez. They are prepared to live on $275 in the rest of their life. Think about that. You know what the seriousness of that? In 25 years almost. Forget about the thieving. Forget about the stealing. Forget about the corruption. Forget about the victimization. You would not believe that a person could have left a legacy behind, that he got the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to no longer believe in themselves, to have decency, to have ambition, to have principle, to aspire to be something. Everyone of you watching here me and listening to me, young and older ones, we grew up on a simple statement in our homes. from our grandparents and parents. We half reach, don't we can reach. We always understood however poor we are. Even if the joggers, the barefoot, the practice water, when calls to scrub with it, use your land for cold pot, use your oven, carry them from your head, go down to bed, however poor we are. One day, we must be somebody. When you as a prime minister can wipe that out, wipe that out, that the sanctions no longer believe in themselves. Dr. Friday, the work of the 4 pillars of agriculture and tourism and the new and the blue economy and our priorities to build an economy, give people a bigger slice of the cake, increase wages, we have our work cut out. The New Democratic Party has to, we don't believe we'll have to do that. Restore decency, dignity, and self-belief to our Vincentian people. That issue by itself alone is enough to remove every single one of them from the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They have damaged the cycle of our people, in some cases, and for all time. Thank God, there's a Chevron, there's a Nature, there's a Daniel, there's a Fitz, there's a Friday, and the list goes on, who say, no Sankey, nothing so. And one by one, brick by brick, we will change that dynamics. Because there's a dividing line, a sharp dividing line between Friday's New Democratic Party and the others, not even one to call it. And that is, we believe that the opportunity, the privilege, temporary as it may be, given to us is for a single purpose, to improve the lot and life of every man, woman, and child in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And I've been wrong with Godwin for 20 plus years, both of us were the vice president. I know him and I believe him. I see Eustace has improved upon what Sir James did, and that was a mighty great job. And I see Friday improving upon what Friday left off. What Eustace left off. And I have the faith and the confidence that the good Lord has preserved me long enough to ensure that the new breed, the new youthfulness that is emerging in the New Democratic Party will take the baton and take us to another level of development in our city. Tonight I didn't wear my nice new polo shorts like what England have, but I gonna hear what you use tonight, so I'll leave you alone. And I look nice like, oh man, I'm pouring away horse nice. I have one of Jersey here. Watch me good. Handsome, young guy, at least up to 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. If you watch this picture good, you will see a hair from my head. Watch the beard, it's black. You understand? Look at the smile. No stress, no worries. Well, don't bother with the glasses, you can change that. All it says is that this Friday you'll be a leg by don't turn up. Just up yesterday, you know. But that's what has happened to us in the New Democratic Party. The vast majority of nations did it, I did it, Daniel did it, professionals, academics, from the bowels of the working class in this country, we came clear-eyed, eyes wide open, to solve in the New Democratic Party, it was just called the wilderness years. There'll be more brazen within recent time. They've changed that language that NDP must suffer and die. And yes, many of our people have suffered and died. Right here in Kingstown Park. Sometimes, and I had a long conversation with Kenya Romance coming in from away last night. Because sometimes y'all don't always see and feel the pains of us. There isn't a single member on the slate of candidates. Shaka is here and the others are here. There isn't a single one of us who feel we have an entitlement to anything. We must walk for it and work hard for it. And we're all prepared to do that. And on a work plan and a program. In some cases, I feel like if I go back to school in the NDP. Every day something new. Every day the class. Sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. We go in. But I want you to understand this about the pain and the suffering. You want to hear us go to funerals? Some of us get more than some. But one of the greatest pain that very many of us had is that day, that glorious day when we come into government, a lot of the people upon whose shoulders we stood, who toiled with us, went up and down and round and about, they are not there with us to enjoy
the victory.
The victory.
Not easy, man. Coming easy.
Not easy? No. Not easy? In Central alone, I've seen over 1,200 of my people die. And some people say I don't have them around me. To say, boy, we made it, you know. But that's what politics is about. Service before self. And yes, well, we may talk about all kinds of programs. While we may talk about all kinds of programs, we must remain solid. Solid as a rock. Because we're standing on solid ground. To build a better civilization in the country. I don't tell you, or I can't tell you, that when I come to be a minister of government, and I will, because we will win this election. We will win it. Because we are on the right side of history. We're on the right side of history. This election is the audit of all audits. You think some audit paper that was given from the director of audit, which reveals the stupidness and the crookery that they're doing is bad enough. Every one of them, mortally afraid to leave government because they know what they're hiding. Document is revealed. But even more is understood to be present. They are a dishonest, selfish, greedy, thieving, dishonest, worthless, and nasty group of people who have disappointed their parents and have them torn in the grave. And when I say things, you know, I say it on the basis of evidence. Curtis King, I know you and your family. I shall be fighting for you, Curtis, and you shall be fighting for me.
That's right.
You were trade unionists. You were tramps. Send home people. Man lose the wife lose the man. Child one way, mother the other way. Uncle gone, sister gone. Sell house, sell car, sell cattle. Have to grow shortcake. Sponsorship to stay alive. And you watch a government deny those people their money, and you can raise a blasted finger and say, I can't deal with that. And you call yourself a man. You want to trade doing this. You watch the union just what you remember. Have to take your government to court to win rights, and you still can't get the money. You watch money like the government. And Marcus, Freitas, the cousin of Ralph. Ralph's a young boy, and Marcus and them is from. Let's see the farm is waiting for me. What he do us? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Our country is in big doo-doo. And we have to get out of it. And we have to approach it with clean hands. We have to go with reverence. All of us are imperfect, you know. All of us fall short of the glory. But every day, we have another day to make it right and do that which is right in the sight of all God. You understand? You can't say you love people and treat them in the way that you're doing. But we have a result that's coming out in the speaking. I believe and I hope that we'll get through. But the wickedness in them said, even if we get through, you know what he said? He will go to the Privy Council. He, you know, a man who don't believe in colonialism, he will Privy Council. And he has this Vincentian society. Listen, if I was a young woman, I'll go back to university to study Ralph. Yes! Because they never had a course to deal with people like he. You understand? Wicked! When the guy just standing for the police in the black doors, he just said, "Hey, listen what we say now." They just come close up and tell you what I want, head to head. You may not be able to write it down. But he's not good for St. Vincent. You know? And he's determined. I mean, well, it's one thing to be wicked. But probably was when you're unreasonable. You have 25 years. 25. And you want to go out of office and say the only man who could take out for you to pick me. Yeah, he's 25 too. Go back, walk on and say this to you. You're Russell, that's alright. 25 you are, you know. That ain't enough. The only reason why you want to pick me there is because he's the only one you can trust not to let out his secret. That ain't happening. Lavon Gibbs will deal with that for me, please. Deal with that. Friend, I don't know if you'll see 8 hours. If you do, 5:45. We have work to do. You understand? Well, in England, I use red pampers when you're going for the election work. So, nobody ain't choking up your eye. This is a serious time. You know? And the people around the New Democratic Party, in every constituency, has to come to an understanding that the representative can't do it by himself. That's right. Politics is a very, very lonely game. Sometimes as a politician, only you and God to stop. But you see, I'm here. Well, they can't teach me. I don't think so. Never. Because so I only say it because they force them in, you know, when they're crazy, just bite people, If I don't lose.
Nothing central.
Well, thank you. Let me know so what the devil is a liar want me to say. You know? The central Kingstown, this Kingstown Park, your representative, let me say it nice, Major, the Honorable, Sinclair, Augustus, Liga, Fogorty, and Elsa, solemnly promise I will win this seat and I will win it for the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines. You see a struggling to get a hard court on a playing field under by your colors? I stop and watch it. I don't know if we will go back to the bank, to Miss Barrow, or if we can go down to the church. But we get something there, get something to plan. But we'll find something for you to do. Because that is the next serious issue. Too many of our young men, not only they can't get working, but in some cases they don't even know how to work. Because it's been so long that they had to work. Being dehumanized, we will find work for you. Not just for idle lands and idle lands, but our training and entrepreneurship. I said $50 million for the factory in Green Hill. It may be more. But we have a lot of things to do. And it's more than I thought we would have had to do. Other speakers don't frighten. Now we're going to wrap up now. I'm going to do it again. Because I thought that when we I thought, let me try to know my manager. I thought that when we come into government, we will meet so much of orange in the street, so much of bananas, so much of mango, so much of passion fruit, so much of this, so much of that, so much of yellow. I never knew that Reno will bulldoze all of them things. And how much for what? $1,000 a month. And you want to come back? Well, I'm glad you could talk to me now because I don't have permission to say this one here. But I want to say that I hope when I'm in government and as a Minister of National Security, I can encourage my government to have a second look at how we deal with our local ganja people. I really don't believe no ganja man should be going to jail to this anymore. You can't have a category of people becoming millionaires off of ganja and another poor working class for the front of the jails and service to the vendors for $5 weed. Huh? They have a blend of weed in it. Huh? Where are you going with that? Find a way to legitimize the activity. Because all they want is to do what the other big man want. Drive car, build house, smell sweet, and take care of the families. You see this party? Friday party? We promise you. A great settlement. Yeah, get the road, don't worry that. Road easy. Road easy. I just want you to see me through the next election, and I'm here only to finish my work so I can go back to South Greenwood with Keith John on the invitation of Shaka for pass jubilee. Plenty time for Chevron in North Greenwood. Conroy doing well in Central Yoga, still going down with him. Kisho have a lot of qualification. I learned in my experience. Philip Jackson, you take time like you, but have time for you. You understand? But all your stuff, figure that major. Don't worry, don't feel major, old, and the animal use. What I have is love and wisdom. Good night. Thank you. God bless you.
For the major. Very powerful, and importantly, his presentation was not about himself, but what he will do for the people of Central Kingstown and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that is in the DNA of the New Democratic Party, is about serving people. You know why the major was speaking and he got all emotional? He said something that this party and continue to build on the backbone of those who have served us well. And unfortunately, all of them will not be around in 2025 to see that victory. But we want to say thank you to all those persons who have contributed and who continue to contribute to this party.
assurance of blessing. I'm the presence of God. When we look at where we're coming from, where we are today, yes, we gotta say thank you, thank you.
Yeah, let's say thank you, man. Say thank you to all those folks. And we have to say thank you to the Almighty God also. He has not abandoned us. And I can guarantee you 2025, as the major said, that is the year that the Lord has made. And is the year of delivery. We know we have some rain tonight. And every time Central Kingstown are meeting, we have blessings. And one of the apostles who keep insisting that his representative is the major, lives in Central Kingstown. And they call him the waterman. So I don't know when he comes, he's going to get a disclaimer whether he have anything to do with the blessing or the rain. But nevertheless, as usual, all of us very powerful and has solved this party and the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines well over the years, even before we get into politics. Put your hands together and welcome to address us, none other than Brother Daniel Cummins, our chairman.
Tell me who shall I fear? The Lord is my strength, the strength of my life. Tell me who shall I fear? Hear me now. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Tell me who shall I fear? The Lord.
Big June. Thank you very much, Chairman Burt. It's very pleasant good night to Dr. the Honorable Dr. Friday, our political leader, my representative, Major, my parliamentary colleagues, members of the executive friends. Good night, Kingstown Park. I want to start where Major left off and say a very special good night to a dear friend of mine, Sister Lavon Vellox. We in West Kingstown will be coming with you flat out. I join with Major and we will be working from Senator Chevron in North Leeward to North Leeward to Dr. Kishore in North Leeward. And folks, you know why we can do that? Because from Major to Major, myself and Fitz, we have been working with our constituency from day one. And we will continue to do that. We are making sure that our ground is fertile. And no matter who they bring, whether the lady is fat or she out of that, it don't matter to us. We have secured our ground and we will be going to the other constituency to make sure that your will be done, that we get into government so that we can serve you. Tonight, I am on a reflective mood. Where we stand here in Kingston Park, I was born and spent most of my youth just a short distance from here in the road leading down there. Apart from 6 years I spent with my grandmother in Redemption Shops, where I live now. Most of my youth, the rest of my youth was right here in Kingston Park. So it's a very special place to me. But as I think back on what Kingston Park was when I was a boy, the Sunday school just across the street here, right where we stand was one of the best rose gardens the whole of Kingston Park has. Very vivid in my mind. But in those days, these roads were just as narrow. But they served us beautiful because then we didn't have this amount of traffic. With the advent of used cars in this country, our roads have become grossly inadequate. Ironically, here is a government that likes to talk, that likes to boast. They speak about a ministry of urban development. Urban development is what they talk about. But listen to me. In central Kingstown, the late Parnell Campbell, under the NDP government, started a program of putting sidewalks and covering the road, the side. Go down the road in Lodge Village, Block 2000 coming back to Kingston Park. Parnell Campbell understood the importance of not just fixing the road, but providing place, especially in the area of schools, for development. Just back over there in Lodge Village, the government so failed the people that a child lost his head when the van drove close to a lamppost, which was right in the road, next to Lodge Village School. Those are the things that the caring government will deal with. On that same road in Lodge Village, right in front, Clark, the road narrows in such a funny way. Anybody driving on that Lodge Village road, if you're not familiar, and if you're one of the drivers don't adjust, it's an accident waiting to happen.
That's true.
I want to take this very Kingston Park Road. It is narrow. There are areas where you can't do much. But there are lots of areas we talk about the potholes. This is a good thing, ironically. This is a good thing that there are so many potholes, and maybe it's the government doing this by design. Because if these roads were smooth, there'll be an accident every day on them. Every day. Listen to me, my friends. Whether it be here in Kingston Park, Lava Heights, wherever you go, if you think I'm joking, when you leave here tonight, drive up Lava Heights. Every inch of the road has a vehicle parked on one side. The very narrow road. There is no provision for any parking. People are allowed to build their homes without leaving any space for vehicles, because many people don't anticipate they'll have the possibility of getting a vehicle. A government that cares about the people understands these things and puts systems in place to help you. There are things even now that can be done to widen the road, to cover the drains, to allow for pedestrians and for safe traffic. There are too many areas, far too many areas, where school children have to compete with vehicular traffic for the narrow space in the road, and some of the drivers really don't seem to care. I don't know, I don't know if when coming here, you drove through Barry Village and come to Buchan, because I don't think you'll be able to sit down now. There are some holes in that piece of road there, my friend. I know, because every day I have to drive on them. This is a government. This is a government that just doesn't seem to care about the people of this country. But for tonight, I don't want to talk to you about roads. Lavon, our PRO, talked about what's happening in Andersville. She spoke about the fleas, and she spoke about the dog bites, children and teachers. Many of you people here in Central Kingston have your children going to school at Kingston government. We call it Stony Ground Primary. This red rat government has overtaken Stony Ground School. Rats chasing the children out of Stony Ground School. listen to me, friends. You might think this is a joke. But those who are concerned about health understand the risks that rats pose, especially to your children. Many of you recall the sudden deaths due to leptospirosis. Many persons in this community have family members who have died because of rat bite, and the rats have that disease. That's a very deadly disease. Julia and Francis had a relative, I think it was a sister, who died from that. So they know about it, and they're neglecting the children of this country. There is a school that served as a shelter not too long ago, and no attempt is made to just spend millions of dollars, to renovate that school. And if you have rats invading that school today, my friends, something is wrong. Rats have not only invaded the ULP, they have taken over our country in the most negative and vile way. My friends, with your representative in Central Kingstown, the Major, and with the New Democratic Party government, these things will not happen. Your life, your children's life is important to us. Major has given a commitment to the people of Central Kingstown that is unsurpassed. We in West Kingstown, and we have so much in common in these Kingstown and South Leeward constituency. Just as Major walks throughout Central Kingstown from pillar to post, when we go through West Kingstown, we don't just meet the people and listen to the people. We observe all that's happening and it's not happening. And we do this because we're preparing ourselves for the opportunity to correct the very many wrongs that exist in our society. To enhance your quality of life is what drives me, is what drives Dr. Friday and all of us in the New Democratic Party. I have said to you, people of Central Kingstown and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I don't need politics for myself. There's nothing I can gain from being in politics. My mission is very simple. It's about my country, and that includes especially my people of this country. The opportunity to help you realize a healthy life with good living, opportunity to work, to have your children look up to you as a working mother and father, to go back to the values that made us what we were long ago. That's the dream I have. And I can't wait for the opportunity before this year is out, as we get into government, to clean up all the mess, to end all the corruption, to get our people back to work, to restore the dignity and justice to all. I thank God that the time is not long. And tonight I simply want to say to you, we're not boasting, we're not bragging. Since the last election, Dr. Friday and the entire team were set out upon a program, and tonight I want especially to single out our very hard-working Secretary General of the New Democratic Party. A young man from my own constituency, one of those who was affected by the COVID madness. The Secretary General has been working in every constituency, my friends, and a lot of things we don't talk, very deliberate. Preparing ourselves for the challenge that's going to come to all of us very shortly. The challenge of restoring faith. The challenge of removing the corruption. The challenge of getting the economy going. The challenge of making sure That when you go to the hospital, you don't have to carry your cup, your spoon, your plate, and go out and buy medicine. But you can go in confidence knowing that the best medical attention money can buy will be provided to you, regardless of whether you're working or not. Because the National Health Insurance System will ensure every Vincentian gets a level of care. My friends, that's from a government that cares about you. So all I want to say to you tonight, we know Major is fine. We know the Kingstowns are fine. We know the NDP will win. But we know the other side can't afford to lose. We know that, and so that's what we're asking you. Look in your own home. Start there. Don't leave it to anybody else. Make sure your ID is up to date. All your children ID up to date. Those who are coming of age soon, get their necessary documents now, so when they come of age, you're ready to go. Don't leave it to your candidate. Your candidate, like me, is one person. Don't come and criticize and say you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Ask yourself, what can I do? Not like the senator's friend. Not us. Not what us can do. Ask what you can do. Ask what you can do and do it. So, I want to be brief tonight because I know there are other people. But Kingstown Park, Central Kingstown, you know your Major, you know the NDP. Let's get it done. Thank you. Good night.
Yes, thank you very much, Brother Cummins, Chairman of the NDP. You know, rats are really dangerous. And we have experienced it with this bunch of red rats that we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But when I was small, you know, we had chaps that used to catch the rats. So now, in 2025, you the people, you have to make sure that your chap is well set so we can catch these red rats and get them out of office in St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that they will stop eating them and destroy St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we got to do that. Time is getting on, so I'm going to bring on the other speaker. You see, in the NDP, we have people with a lot of different skill sets. And this speaker, he used to be a footballer. I think he'll still try something, right? And he was a goalkeeper for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and represented St. Vincent very well. He is also an economist. And I know in Parliament he hot up the head of Branch Conserve and the Unity Labour Party when he responded to the budget presented by the Minister of Finance. I speak of no other person than the representative of East Kingstown, who will be returned after this general election with a bigger mandate from the people. Put your hands together and welcome to the microphone, young Robert Fitzgerald Butler.
Those dancers, they come in the dancer. We come in they call him for a dancer. Alright, thank you very much, Igel. President of the New Democratic Party and next Prime Minister of this country, the Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday. And we are saying that like when we say next Prime Minister, you know, that ain't no joke thing. I also want to recognize all of my colleagues, members of the executive, and most importantly, the host of tonight's program, and my representative, the Honorable Major. I am Central Kingstown man too, you know. I voted in Central and Major voted in East. So, you know, we helping out one another. And I want to say a special good night to everyone here tonight, in person and virtually, and those of you in the surrounding neighborhood, in the sound of my voice. I am really honored, and I feel like a dollar bread. How you say it, Major? I feel like a dollar bread in a 5 cents bag or something. But I'm really, really privileged to be here tonight to support Major. Major, you in our campaign, you know. We said, Doc, you had a strategy meeting and decide where we sell in Major and where we sell in Cummins to go help them fellas. Them money need to campaign. But anyway, in the interest of time, it's late, and I just want to touch on a couple of things to bring to your attention, or maybe I should say to remind us of what we are dealing with in this country. And the message that I want to send tonight is that the Unity Labour Party does not care about Vincentians. If there's nothing else to remember from the Bramble tonight, remember what I'm telling you. The Unity Labour Party does not care about Vincentians. And I'll tell you why I say so. Wednesday coming, a very important decision is going to be delivered with regards to the vaccine mandate and the insensitive strategy by the government to appeal the initial decision. The decision and the appeal will be made on Wednesday coming. And the reason why we are in this situation is because the Unity Labour Party does not care about people. How you gonna fire people, send them home, teachers, nurses, policemen, because they refuse to put a foreign body into their body, which in their opinion was not going to help them. So you fire them. You fire them. And then you have the guard to come and brag and talk about, oh, they could reapply for the jobs. Well, whether they reapply, when they appeal, it does not matter, because when the New Democratic Party forms government, the next day, every single public servant who was negatively impacted by that vaccine mandate will be reinstated with full benefits. And those who were forced to reapply, they will also retrieve their benefits that they lost. That is a guarantee and a commitment from the New Democratic Party when we form government. Because the New Democratic Party cares. The New Democratic Party cares. And when I tell you about caring, look, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this issue. We just lost a young lady who served this country well as a police officer. People trying to run away from the issue. The fact of the matter is, the lady made a complaint that she was raped by the Prime Minister. She made the complaint. Whether it's true or it ain't true or whatever, he should have gone through the judicial process and proved himself not guilty. You think if a woman go down barracks now and say, Bramble try to rape me? Before I say Jack Rabbit, I don't reach down there. And they hauling me through all kind of holes. So it's one law for some people and another law for somebody else. And that woman, that police officer, suffered in every possible way. Not afraid to talk, you know. Me not afraid to talk because I'm never in sanction too. That woman suffered psychologically, she suffered physically, she suffered socially, every kind of E she suffered. Since 2008, since 2008 until she died. But I will say this, God is the ultimate judge. And you better believe some people will be haunted by her ghost until then there too. Mark my words. Wickedness, they do not care about the people of this country. And we can go on and on. Look at the people from the Grenadines who suffered most from the passage of burial. But let me not even talk about Yogi, but I will come back to that in a minute because I'm going to tie that in to the opportunities that the New Democratic Party will provide for young people. But look at the people in the Grenadines. What? 7, 8 months. And look at Union Island. Look at Carriacou right next door. Carriacou has almost been fully restored. Almost fully restored. So what is the difference between Union Island and Carriacou? You know what is the difference? Because Carriacou is a part of Grenada which enjoys proper and decent governance. And a government who cares about its people. There is absolutely no excuse for the people of the Southern Grenadines to be going through what they're still going through after 8 months. After they don't get millions and millions of dollars to fix up the place. And we can go on and on, but I want to just restrict my comments basically to Kingstown. And we talk about how the Unity Labour Party really does not care. Now, you talk about West Kingstown, you talk about Central Kingstown, and you talk about East Kingstown. But Major was just telling me, there really aren't any lines of demarcation. Because Thomastown, I guarantee you, if 9 out of 10 people here can't tell me the boundary in town between Central and East Kingstown. And I'm saying that to say, Kingstown, West, Central and East, Kingstown constitutes the hub of commercial activity in this country. And watch town, watch Kingstown. Watch town. Businesses, the majority of businesses operate in Kingstown. Administrative businesses, businesses in financial services, in retail, in wholesale, in hospitality, in education, in health, you name it, in Kingstown. Since COVID, hundreds and hundreds of businesses have closed down. Hundreds and hundreds of businesses have closed down since COVID. And this government, which does not care about people, they don't think it's necessary to extend the level of support to the businesses, not only the ones who closed down, but the ones who've been struggling, the ones who have been struggling in and out of Kingstown. In and out of Kingstown, and they're giving them all kinds of pressure. All kinds of pressure. Look, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is ranked 130 in the world. We are 193 countries in the world, according to the United Nations. We are ranked 130, Igal, in ease of doing business. So you could close your eye and pick 129 countries for what do business, and it's easier for what do business than in St. Vincent. That the World Bank tell you that. And just let Sister Lamont, you just do my research too. And it is true. When they can't hit me with the research and the rebuttal, they come and try to tell me all kind of things about how we come from bottom town and we used to have outside toilet in bucket. All them things. But the fact of the matter is, businesses in Kingstown have suffered and continue to suffer under this administration. These guys are so wicked. So wicked. As I speak to you, the government of Ralph Gonzalez owes businesses in this country over $100 million from when they want trusting from the people and them and won't pay them. $100 million and more. They owe them. And you know what the impact that is having? Businesses are finding it so much more difficult to operate. Pay the people and them the money. When the New Democratic Party gets there, we will make sure that the government make its commitment, and we will pay the businesses what the government owes them, so the businesses can restock and they can hire more people. And look, to add insult to injury, look what they do. They went and they increased the minimum wage to $50. Fair enough, good. In my view, it should have been more. But that is another story for another time. But the fact of the matter is, we know our people get the lowest wages in the Caribbean. So they deserve an increase in wages. That is not an issue. What is the problem though is that they did not consider that when you increase people's wages, you're increasing the cost of operation of businesses. Some businesses do know. You used to hire 2 people and you pay them $40 each a day. Now, if you're hiring the same 2 people, you have to pay them $50 each a day. That is $100. So a lot of businesses now, they're juggling. They say, boy, I had to cut back on your hours because we can't afford it. And in some instances, they even lay off workers. So these guys, because they did not properly think about the decision that they were making, and because they did not put measures in place to mitigate against the negative impact on businesses and on our workers, both businesses and workers end up suffering. In a new Democratic Party administration, with people like Major, who was a manager in one of the most successful businesses in this country. People like Cummins, who was a manager in one of the most successful businesses in this country. People like Sister Velox, who managed a bank quite successfully. People like Dr. Shallow, who's been arguably the best West Indies cricket president. We have the competence, we have the expertise to make sure that our policies are business friendly and that our policies will help to develop this country. You bring in companies, and by the way, foreign direct investment is going to play a very important role in our economic development because we just don't have the capacity. That's our reality, right? But when you bring in big companies from overseas, like Renault, and you're giving Renault complete, what do you call it, carte blanche opportunity. No tax, Renault not pay no tax, you know. Renault not pay no VAT, you know. Renault not pay no, me don't even know if them just pay NIS. That one me not sure about. Renault is paying absolutely nothing. And on top of that, wherever stone the drill from the quarry, if government want to use any of that, they have to go buy it from Renault. Can you imagine that? And they come in and talking about our local businesses. Ralph Gonzalez said so in 2020. He said the businesses in this country owe the government over $300 million in unpaid taxes. But you bring in a company like Renault that has a history of making millions and millions, and you tell them, boy, I come, Vincentian people do this, so I could come and do whatever I want to. Yeah? These are the things we have to do. Look at sandals, for example. Now, I can tell you from experience, tax incentives to attract foreign direct investment is not a very effective method of negotiating. Trust me. In many instances, when you offer an international business, particularly a business as big as sandals or what have you, in many instances, offering them 100% tax-free incentive or what have you, it's not going to make or break the deal. Because with a new Democratic Party government, if Sandals comes to us and say, well, fellas, we want to come and set up in St. Vincent, I guarantee you, Sandals is not going to be the proponent of 100% tax and duty-free as a condition for them to come in here. But of course, in small countries such as ours, when we feel we have to sell our soul and everything else, we jump up and say, boy, Sandals are come now, oh, they ain't going to have to pay no taxes. The man and them never tell me they don't want to pay no taxes, you know. But we feel that if we really want them to come, that is how we negotiate. That's how we negotiate. And even if you charge Sandals, let me say that that was a part of the deal.
it was attractive enough. And you say, well, boy Sanders, we only could charge you 50% tax. 25% tax. That is still millions of dollars coming into our economy. Millions of dollars coming into our economy. So when you don't have the ability to properly negotiate and to properly attract foreign direct investment, you end up selling your soul. So we have a lot of work to do, particularly in Kingstown. You look at town, watch town. Watch how town look. Look at how Kingstown looks. Vagrant upon vagrant on the street. Street children like never before. And they come and tell you, oh, that is not true. How you tell me that is not true? There's not a day that pass by and I don't circle town. West Kingstown, Central Kingstown, and East Kingstown. So don't tell me what goes on in town. And that is the number of vagrants and street children on our roads is a reflection of a failing government. That is a reflection of a failing government. Don't blame the vagrants and them. Don't blame the street children. But what the New Democratic Party will do, we will clean up town. And we will make sure that people who are vulnerable and who are prone to becoming vagrants and homeless and street children, that we shield them and we give them that social protection to reduce the chances of them becoming like that. And in instances where they fall through the crack, we will make sure that we take care of them. We will make sure that we take care of them and we provide the facilities. They don't even look. There's a young girl from East Kingston who was accused of killing a street child. And you know what they had that girl? For months, down Bel Island with the hardened criminals. Now, who is the real criminal in this situation? A young 11-year-old girl. You have her down in Bel Island with the hardened criminals. They eventually moved her to a facility somewhere else. Wicked, wicked, wicked. What the New Democratic Party will do to stimulate economic activity and to bring back commercial activity in town, one of the things that we will do is to make sure that we honor the commitment to rebuild the Kingston bus terminal. Dr. coming up, not getting. We talk about, we call it Little Tokyo. Let me tell all you how wicked we are from them. Since 2022, they've been putting a project in the estimates, valued at $74 million. That's how much this thing can cost to fix up Tokyo. Since 2022, and they have not done anything up to now. Just try to imagine a modern, well-structured, well-operated Little Tokyo. Man, everybody can make money. But what they do instead, they go in town and chase all the vendors and them off the street. Like if the vendors and them is some kind of old foul. No dignity, no recognition for the humans that they chased off the streets. And then they come back now and charging them $5 and $10 a day. Some of the vagrants, some of the vendors, don't even make $5 a day sometimes. And that is why you need to understand that the time for change is now. The Unity Labour Party must go. It is time for them to go. Brothers and sisters, I am telling you, right now, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is at the crossroads. Ralph and his administration, they had 25 years. 25 years. And look at St. Vincent after 25 years. They squandered opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to make St. Vincent and the Grenadines the gem of the Caribbean. So why should we continue with them? Because they do not care. If somebody that came out you, why you should care about them?
That's right.
Eh? It's human nature. If somebody hit me, my first instinct is to hit them back. if they don't care about me, my first instinct is to say to hell with you. And in this case, we need to let the Unity Labour Party know that their time is up. Their time is up. You need to invest in the New Democratic Party that will provide governance and policies that are sensible and sensitive to your needs. But it starts with you and you making that important decision. Don't cuss and carry on and say Ralph and them this and Ralph and them that, and when election time comes, when election day comes, you don't go out and vote. Make sure you remember what I tell you. The Unity Labour Party does not care about you. And that is why whenever elections are called, you will go and show them that you don't care about them either and vote them out. Vote for a government and a party that cares. Dr. Friday and his team of competent, sensible, sensitive, compassionate, intelligent people will make sure that St. Vincent and the Grenadines gets back on the right track. Vote solidly for the New Democratic Party. Your neighbor, even the people who say they were supporting Labour for years, up to today, one of them come, Bamble, me done with them, you know. Me not vote next election. So I said to her, I said, well, would you give me the opportunity? And I gave her the cricket analogy. I went down now that with the cricket analogy. I gave them the cricket analogy. I said, if a fella playing cricket, Shaka, you go like this one. If a fella playing cricket for Windward Islands, and every time the man back in, and he's scoring a century, he's scoring a double century, he's scoring 80-something, he's scoring 90-something. And you're coming and telling me the man still ain't good enough to play for West Indies, and you never pick him, you never give him a chance to prove himself with West Indies. Well, it's the same thing with the New Democratic Party. You can't tell me that you ain't know what NDP going to do until you give NDP the opportunity. When we get there, if you're not satisfied, then you know what to do. But give us the opportunity, because right now, nobody, no party could do any worse than we're out for them doing now. Can't do worse. So on election day, go out and vote for Dr. Friday and his team of competent people that will take St. Vincent and the Grenadines forward. Major thank you for the opportunity, everybody from West Central Kingstown, and I want to say to you, have a good night and God bless you.
Thank you. Let's hear it from Brother Fitz. Interestingly enough, Fitz vote in Central, Daniel vote in Central, Major vote in East. So
Major show 2 votes for sure.
Major show 2 votes. He said Major don't win. But remember Major, manager said Major must win by at least 1,000 votes. So you have to make sure you get registered and make sure everybody go out when that day comes. Because we have to liberate St. Vincent and the Grenadines and move on. For better education system, better health care, to get the road infrastructures in St. Vincent and the Grenadines fixed, to get agriculture back on the feet, tourism, the blue economy, the new economy, all of these things. You have to get rid of the government. And you have to put in government, Dr. the Honorable Godwin Friday and the New Democratic Party, Central Kingstown. Welcome our leader, Dr. Friday, to address you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, bud.
enough indeed. Major, thank you so much. Central Kingstown, thank you so much. Listen, tonight, when I heard, well, let me just say, commanders, we have all of my colleagues here, they've been acknowledged. Of course, we are here with our host, the Honorable Major Sinclair Leacock, the Rock of Gibraltar here in the middle of Kingstown. But I gotta tell you something. I am delighted to be here. But I am even more delighted because of the presentations that we've heard from my colleagues here tonight. It took us some time to put our team together. But what a team that we have for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Every man, woman can hold their own. And that is what I expect of them. That is what the people of this country expect of them. Years ago, you remember E.G. Lynch, the irreplaceable E.G. Lynch. He said that the ULP, they had one encyclopedia and however many copybooks back then. He called Ralph the encyclopedia. Well, let me tell you something. That encyclopedia today is out of date. It is not relevant to the times that we have now. It is tattered and torn. And it's time for it to be replaced. The Unity Labour Party have been in office for so long, you've heard my colleagues say. And everybody you talk to, you go about Kingstown, you go in the valley, you go down Leeward, you go out country, the same thing. This affair is too long, man. It's too long in that. Even some of the own supporters saying so. And it's not just because of time, you know. It's because they're feeling the pressure from the fact that this government, for all the years they've been in office, they have not delivered what the people expected of them. So, they are now Ralph Gonzalez and his team. They are like expired goods on a shelf. It don't matter how much you dust them off and how much you polish them, it's still not good for you. So the only thing to do is to replace them. And that is all I'm going to say for them now. I'm going to talk about my vice presidential colleague, Major Leacock. Tonight, Sinclair, you were absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for the passion that you bring to representation. When you have the heart in it, everything else is possible. Because people know that you're looking out for them. They know that you care about them. They know that no matter the challenge that you're going to be there with them. And that is why they have your back. And you will get that 1,000-seat vote margin in the next election. But of course, like the rest of us, you know that what we want most of all, and what we ask of the people of this country, is to deliver on the promise we made in the last election, when most of the people voted for the Democratic Party. Make the change that you have said that you want in this country. To bring the change so that we can have a change in government and a change in the country going forward. We want to change government so we can transform the country. You come and say, he don't need any accolades. He don't need a box to stand on to prove himself to anybody. None of us are in it for that. You take it easy, to put up with all the slings and arrows that we have done over the years. But the only reason that we do it and we stick with it is because we want to represent the people of this country to bring better for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have done so in all the years we've been in opposition. We have exposed the fallacies, the lies, the corruption, the mistakes, the bad governance of this ULP government. And we now look forward to gaining the confidence of the people in the next general elections so we can deliver on the promises that we have made to make this country better. But we all have to do it. As Daniel said, it don't matter how much you stand up here and talk. It don't matter how much you talk in the parliament. It don't matter how much you talk on the radio. When that day comes, we only have one vote like everybody else. You go in the polling station and you cast your vote. So therefore we need the support of the people of Central Kingstown. We know we have it. We need the support of the people all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know you have it in the Northern Grenadines. We know we have it in West Kingstown, in East Kingstown, in South Leeward, in Southern Grenadines. We know that Chevron done. We'll have it in North Windward. All over. Thank you, my brother. Let me get shortcut. All over. Because wherever I go in this country, and we travel all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in all the small villages, in the towns, in the homes, in the streets, talking to people. Wherever we go, the people say they want a change. They want something better. And I say to them, you deserve something better. But I don't just offer empty promises. We have put together a plan. We have a plan for the future of the country. People want to know, yes, about the failures of the ULP, but they want to know what our plan is for the future of the country. And we do have a plan. You can't run a country just by borrowing and begging, which is what this present government is doing. The debt now is close to what, $2 billion? So that means that they have to tax you more in order to pay off that debt. Because you can't borrow to pay debt. I know they're doing it now. But if you're borrowing to pay debt, all you're doing is just digging a hole to fill a hole. You know? And that is what they're doing. So they're mismanaging the affairs of the country. And what that results in is pressure on the ordinary person. They are going to feel more and more pressure as you go forward. But we have a plan to develop the economy of the country. That's the only way St. Vincent and the Grenadines can go forward. And we do it not just by relying on foreigners. We have to do it by trusting and developing our own people. That's it. Because ultimately development is not about buildings. It's about people. I learned it a long time ago in my first year at university. Development is about the development of people. And you have all the other stuff. The airport, the seaport, the buildings, but they only function effectively and for us when you put the people to operate those things and you do it productively. If you're relying on foreigners all the time, you're basically saying, we have no faith in our future. We have no faith in the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't believe that. My colleagues and I do not believe that. This is why we take the trouble to outline a plan for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are not just relying on the fact that this government has failed over the 20-something years they've been in office to deliver a better life for the people of this country. And I'm not just making this up. Remember, they had a poverty study that they produced, was supposed to be published in 2018. When the study demonstrated, showed that poverty has grown in the country, they tried to kill the study. But somebody in the public service said, no, this is important information and must get out to the public. Because people must see the truth about what's happening in the country. And so it was leaked. That study was never made public by the government. And what it showed is that poverty has grown. Dirt poor poverty from 3% to 11% of the population. That poverty overall has grown from 31% to 36% of the people. That in some communities, such as Barley, it has more than doubled. In my own constituency in Northern Grenadines, it has more than doubled. In every constituency except Ralph's constituency of North Central Windward, poverty got worse in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So that is their old study. So when I tell you things have gotten from bad to worse, I am not making it up. They have said so by their old study. But you can look around for yourself. Look at the condition of our roads, the worst they've ever been. The crime situation in the country is out of control. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is falling apart after 25 years of ULP administration. More people are unemployed now. Again, this is not me saying so. This is the World Bank and IMF study. More people are unemployed today under the ULP administration than under the NDP in 2001. The census, when it does come out, will show that the population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has gone down. Where have all those people gone? It's not that people are making babies, as some would like to tell you. It's that a lot of people, they take the off-ramp and they say St. Vincent ain't going away under this government, I'm going somewhere else. And unfortunately, a lot of those people are our young people, our talented, energetic young people who we need to build our country, and we're losing them because they have lost hope. Well, we have to restore hope in the people. And so the people of this country, they have a right to ask of us. Well, Friday you talked about all the things that are wrong with the government. You said that you have the team who can deliver. Well, what exactly are you going to do for me? That is a legitimate question. You have a right to ask that. And when anybody from the other side come and talk to you, ask them that. They say, after 25 years, what the hell are you going to offer me now? You know, how am I going to get a job for my young people? For my child who has been to college and she come out in 4.5, 5 years gone, and she can't even get a part-time work. And she has lost faith in this country. She has begun to question and doubt herself, and all the promise that her family had of her is stifled because nobody in this government gives her a chance to succeed. You've heard our colleagues mention that the New Democratic Party we have formed, we have put forward the Youth Guarantee Pledge. What does that mean? What we have said to young people is that we want you to be employed. We will grow the economy so that you will have a chance to get a job. But if you can't get a job because you're not properly skilled, and that's a problem with our education system, we are going to create a system in this country where there are going to be programs, lots of programs available, so that young people, free of charge, can earn the skills necessary to be able to find jobs in this economy. And if after that you cannot find a job, we are going to introduce a national internship program so that you can have a chance to get a job while you are training and learning and getting experience at the same time. And we will do this in conjunction with the private sector. So that the government says, listen, we are going to give you this person to work, and we will pay that person $700 or $800 a month. Then that employer must match that so that they have a living wage. They're not just coming to work and they have to borrow money to take bus to come to work. So, but at the same time, they will have a chance to get real practical experience in a work environment, and if they produce and they do well for the employer, hopefully they will keep them on long term. But not only that, that young person, now having had 1 year of practical, useful experience, may decide, well, listen, I want to go do something for myself. Or now I can go on the job market and compete for work here, or I can want to go somewhere else, that is their choice. But the point of the matter is, they have a future in this country. So, when I said earlier, you have a right to ask the question of us, what is it that you will do for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? What you will do for me? For the farmers, we have told you, farming, agriculture is a pillar of our economy. So therefore, we are going to introduce a credit system to help farmers to get access to money. We are going to introduce again a marketing structure so that the farmers are not the only ones who are taking the risk when they plant. I had a conversation with a farmer from the valley the other day in Richard Park. I said, well, how much you getting for that sheen? And I hope he was wrong. He told me $50 a sack. I said, you could make money on $50 a sack? He said, no, you can't, Friday, but what are you going to do? They're in the ground already. The point of the matter is, how is it that the farmer is the only person who takes the risk in this farming industry? Because the middleman, the trafficker, they set their price based on what their market is offering. So they don't lose, but the farmer is the only one. So we have to have a marketing mechanism similar to what they used to have with the marketing board, but a more modern version of that to be able to help the farmers so that they're not the victims of the fluctuation in the market prices. We also have to feed the roads for the farmers. We have to make sure that those persons who are thieving the animals and the crops, that they're prosecuted, because the upholders and buyers of thief, those people who buy those things from people who don't own a piece of land, and they never rear an animal in their life, yet they bring in you meat to sell. You are aiding and abetting worthlessness, and we will not tolerate it. I said in the parliament the other day, our policy is to have a zero tolerance policy with respect to pay their last name. Somebody on the other side said, zero tolerance, what that mean? Well, if I have to explain it, tell me that they simply are out of touch with what the concerns of the people are. That is one of the most serious problems that the farmers have, is that people teaching the stuff, they're reaping before the plants are actually reaped. And there is you ask people, you go to the police? No. Why? It's a waste of time. So we don't want them to take it on in their own hands. They can't do that either. So what they do is they don't bother to plant, unless it's some patch near to the home so that they can see what it is that they're growing. This has to stop. And so when you ask me what are you going to do for us Friday, what will the New Democratic Party do in government? For the farmers, I say that there is a new dawn coming. There is a government that believes in you, that we believe that this is a productive sector that can generate wealth for our country, and will make it happen. In tourism, we have tremendous potential. But we can't just have a tourism sector that caters just to the big boys from overseas. We have to make sure that our local tourism industry also has an opportunity to grow, to allow our local businesses to grow, to be a part of this very lucrative and promising industry. And we will make it happen. We also have what they call the blue economy. We talk about this of fishing industry. The Otley Hall, Marina and Shipyard, which is a tremendous facility of great potential to generate wealth for us. We must make it work. The yachting industry, I know this because I come from the Grenadines where this is a big deal. But not just only there, also in the mainland, in Villa and in Wanabu, and in all these other bays and on the mainland. We can generate a lot more activity from our yachting industry, which has declined considerably under this present government. We will bring it back to make sure that it creates wealth for our country and our people, and make us more prosperous and provide opportunities for our people. There are so many things, just the other day I had a conversation with someone who was talking about an opportunity for young people, where they said they will take young people from our communities, from here in the mainland and from Southern Grenadines, Northern Grenadines, and train them to be yacht captains and so forth, so then they can go on and become captains, not just as the lowest ranking positions. and work in the charter business. These are things that we can do, provide opportunities for our young people. And they look forward to it. But this present government, all they're doing is to say, listen, come and dance with us. Come and have a party with us. Come on and show you. We have Buju and we have all these other people, what is the guy name? Cartel. And they come in and then Monday morning, when everybody else gone to work, most of the young people sitting home, they have nothing else to do. We have to change that. So we also have, when I speak of generating a new economy, these are things that we don't normally think as business. Sports and the creative industries. Our artists in Vincent and Grenada, we have some of the most creative people in the entire Caribbean. Look at our music industry. And they do this pretty much on their own. So we want to be able to create an infrastructure, an environment where they can develop their skills, develop their products, and we can help them with the marketing of it to make sure that they're able to take full advantage of their God-given talent. The handicraft industry, information technology, all of these are things that we need to maximize for. So when you ask me Friday what are you going to do for us, these are the plans that we have for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And why it is that we need to do this? Because we have to generate wealth in our country in order to pay for the things that we enjoy, the social programs that we need to have a better standard of living. That is to say, our healthcare system. Right now you go down to the healthcare, to the hospital, and most people are afraid to go there. That should be a place of comfort and ease for us. You know, you hear a colleague talk about when you go there, you have to carry your own cup, and your plate and your spoon, and your sheet and pillow like you went camping. You know, this is not the kind of thing that you should be having in this modern day and age. So, but you have to generate the wealth in the economy to be able to pay for these things. How are you going to fix the potholes in the road? You have to be able to generate income in the economy to do that. How are you going to pay for the school feeding program I hear, even to this day? That is some of our primary schools now. They still have not gotten the supplies for the school feeding program. How are these people, how are these children going to manage? You know how many people can't afford to give their children money to buy lunch and transportation, to take the bus to go to school because everybody catching ill? And the people you used to go to ask for a little handout, they're the ones telling you, boy, I can't help you anymore. Because I too can't make ends meet. So when you ask me what it is that we're going to do for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a plan. And I told you the 4 pillars of the economy, we have to build them back. And we have the means to do it. We will do it with our people. We will generate greater wealth in this country. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines will once again become a place of promise and opportunity. Our young people are not going to take the off-ramp and go to St. Kitts. What if St. Kitts has that we don't have it? Or go to Barbados, or to Trinidad or somewhere else, and leaving Australia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and using their talents elsewhere. We have to be able to provide opportunity for them. That is what we offer to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And of course we have a myriad of social problems. We have a situation with crime that is under control. You heard my colleagues talk about that. But we will deal with that at another time. So, we have now a choice to make. You have heard me talk about my team, my colleagues. The best slate ever of candidates to contest an election. Best! The ULP can't find candidates. You know? But we have the best slate ever. We have a team now of 15 candidates that we have put forward to contest the election. Each of these persons can run a ministry. Each of them can give representation to the people in their constituency. Because that is the plan that we have to deliver for the people of this country. We also have the program as I've outlined just now. But the third component that we need is for us all as citizens to do our part. You have said that you want to bring change in this country. But it takes all of us to do it. And we cannot allow ourselves to be afraid to make a democratic choice that we have won over the years of struggle. We cannot deny the hard work, the sweat and the tears of our forebears who have won us the right to be able to choose the next government because we are afraid to exercise that choice. When we do that, we are abandoning not just the people who sacrificed in the past. We are condemning our young people, the future of our country, to a fate that they do not deserve. And we cannot, in this time, we cannot allow this opportunity to pass and leave it up to somebody else to make the choice, because make no mistake about it. When you have an election, whether you choose to vote or not, if you don't choose, somebody is going to choose for you. And then you have no right to complain afterwards, because you have said, I don't give a damn, so you do what you like. And it will affect you. So, I know that most of the people are anxious to make that choice. And I urge you to take your responsibility seriously. You don't owe me a vote. I want to earn that. And I believe in the programs that we've put forward, in the team that we've put together, that we have earned that support. And we ask you to exercise it when the time comes. Do not, especially the young people. I have said over and over again, the young people, when they come to me, I see them on the street, they're so enthusiastic. The other day I was out in the town, I met 2 young people, I was sitting in a vehicle, and they changed their course, 2 young women at the community college, and they passed by the vehicle and they said to me, Dr. Friday, I am going to vote for you in the next election. I felt so humble, because I'm saying that the young people, they're listening. They want to have a brighter future in this country. They're depending on us. They are depending on us. We cannot fail them. And the way to do it is for us to inform ourselves, to make the choice when the time comes. We know what the New Democratic Party is offering. Don't tell me you don't know what the NDP is offering. I've just outlined what the program is. More than that, you have seen what the ULP has offered over the past 20-odd years. A leopard don't change its spots. You use another metaphor, you can't teach a dog, or what is it, a old dog new tricks. All of them things, you see what they have to offer. What they have offered is greater poverty in this country, by their own study. What they have offered is high unemployment in this country. What they have offered is a crime rate that is out of control. What they have delivered are streets and bridges and public buildings that are shameful in this day and age. And after all of that, we have a national debt of $2 billion. $3 billion, a hook in the gill of the people of this country, as the Prime Minister had said. This is not something that the people of this country want, support, or will vote for. So, we are here tonight in central Kingstown. We are here with the Major on a ground that he has made impregnable, solid as a rock for the New Democratic Party. There are other places across the country that are similar. But what is so hopeful and what is so gratifying to me is that everywhere I go, I walk about Kingstown, I walk a lot, you know, and people sometimes is afraid of boy, you're walking by yourself. I said, I like to meet people and talk to people, you know? And yes, you can't take your security lightly, but I'm not going to separate myself from talking to people that I meet casually, you know? Some people that drive around with their vehicles, they don't even stop to say hi, and windows are all up tinted and so forth, you know who they are. But the point of the matter is, what the people tell me all over the country is that they're looking forward to this election so that they can make a change. The time has come. They have seen what this government has to offer, and it is not good. A future that is brighter in St. Vincent and the Grenadines requires change, and the only way of a change now is in the Democratic Party. More than that, it is a bright light in this country because of the programs we have, because of the people that we have, and because of the support that we have throughout the country. Major, I started by saying, I appreciate the passion that you brought to your speech tonight. That is emblematic. It is evidence, it is proof of your commitment to your people here in Central Kingstown. But also, that same spirit is evident in all of our colleagues, in the way in which they approach their work. And you saw some of that here tonight. Last night we were up in Orange Hill, and I want to extend again a thank you for the people up there for the wonderful hospitality that they showed to us. And as I said to them, there are those some of you didn't vote for Chevron, and you didn't support the NDP, but that is your choice. All I'm asking you to do now is to reconsider that in the next election coming up. We have a good plan. We have a fantastic team. We have a beautiful country. We can bring hope back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It takes all of us to do that. I have my colleague here. We have one in the we have our new guys here, from West St. George. We have our team, our administrative team. We have so much support, but most of all, we need the support of the people from this constituency when they come out to vote, and the people all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because the time for change has come. The ULP, they are sitting and they are in borrowed time, and they are squatting on land that they don't no longer own or control. Let us bring the change when the election is called. The sooner, the better. Thank you, and good night.
Solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. My love, solid as a rock. I can't stop.
Yes, that's how love have to be for the New Democratic Party in this election. Got to be solid, solid as a rock. Thank you very much, our leader and next Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Friday. On behalf of the Major, our representative, myself as the chairman, and our executive, we want to say thank you very much to all of the speakers who spoke here tonight, to all of the people who came out despite the inclemency of the weather. We just want to thank you to those who listen on radio and those who listen on the various media platforms. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And to our host, Brother Curtis, we want to thank you very much for affording us the opportunity for being here tonight so that we can reason with the people of Central Kingston, the people of Kingston Park, and by extension, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So let me say a pleasant good night to you. Take care. Take care, get home safely, and the young people in Central Kingston, don't forget, this coming Saturday, you're going to meet with the Major, you're going to line with the Major up at our office. The line begins at 5:30. Come on out, others will be there, you'll join you about 7 o'clock or so, where we can continue that line, speak with the Major, touch flesh with him, eat some food, drink some soft drinks, make yourself happy, be with your representative. And when election comes, go to the polls and vote solidly for the key, the symbol of the New Democratic Party. God bless you. Have a good night. Get home safe. Take care.